There's a couple different ways to use them. A lot of traders use them to try and trade in between, buy when it hits the lower band, sell when it hits the higher band. That's one way to use them. Another way
Watch Commander.
Hunter Killer Sub, what's going on?
Hey, we called it, right? Remember my email last Wednesday night?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys get a comp copy. Boom.
Yep.
Just for transparency.
Just for transparency.
And we call that, we're going to chalk that to just being lucky. That's all.
You caught that bomb? Did you get some calls down there too, Fari?
We did a few things. And we got a little bit short up here too, just in case. You never know. This is a very, very ticklish, if you will, market.
I've been laying out this scenario here all morning before you just came on, saying that we've come back a long ways here now. We've come back 120 S&P points in 5 days. We're looking at individual stocks like Disney that have come back 10 points in 5 days. It seems like too much too fast with still uncertainty out there, doesn't it? Yes.
And you can move your targets a little bit, but please also move your stops. This could be a large LBR. LBR flag pattern. Linda Raschke flag pattern, which is that, we drop hard, we come back somewhat with some energy, and then it dies, then we cascade and we roll over big time. That's a possibility. You can never rule out. Part of the problem here is the oil prices out there, and I think I submit to you, and I've talked about this in our chat rooms, I think Obama made a deal with the House of Saud that said, we're negotiating with Iran, we got problems with Ukraine and Putin, while the sanctions are on, why don't we flood the markets a little bit? Don't worry about it for 3 or 6 months or whatever. Let's see what happens there. And as you guys know, in this program, about a month ago, or was it 6 weeks ago, we talked about $60 oil in 18 months. We're at 80. I don't know where we are today. I think 82 I saw yesterday print.
Yeah.
If we start, I think Russia needs 104 to break even on their budget because 90% of their export is oil. It's really one product economy. I think you'll see a very soft, quiet coup d'etat in Kremlin, and next thing you know, Putin will be in some dock-off for the rest of his life. He reminds me of Nikita. There's a little bit too much adventurism.
Khrushchev.
And that's how the system works with him. So, and maybe they got the back channels ready, including going to oligarchs, because a lot of their stuff is also locked up. So that's what I see from my Woodrow Wilson school training. Thinking about what ifs. Maybe a back channel deal here. We'll find out in years to come.
What kind of Sigma channels did we get down to last week?
We were at 3 Sigma constantly. We did the low was put in 3 Sigma out of 4 days.
You're kidding me.
I'm saying negative 3 Sigma. Negative 3 Sigma in 4 days. So one day we pulled up, which was a Tuesday, and then we went down hard Wednesday. Did a reversal, and that's all she wrote.
What's the Sigmas right now on this upside bounce? Where are they at?
We're right above, not considering where we are on future right now, which is only $1.50. Okay, we're at above 0 sig. So we're center line, Now, more important than that, again, talking about Comedy Central, some of my buddies over there, they talked about VIX last Wednesday during the session. They said VIX is going to be at 40. And I almost fell off the chair. Here's the issue. The last time we were at 40, I believe it was...
financial crisis.
European. No.
Oh,
European,
did we get up in 2011? We got up to 40 again?
I believe so, sir.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. And if I'm looking at it right now, we traded. We touched 50. We almost touched 50. The high on that was on the 12th of August, and it was 48. Okay. Now, if you go to a daily pattern with a Sigma channel, this is crucial on VIX. When Comedy Central started talking about that, we were at 4 Sigma plus. No, not plus. Four sigma. I mean plus 4 sigma, not above it. Not beyond 4 sigma, but positive 4 sigma on VIX. VIX has a tendency right there to do reversals. It's not the levels as Robert Wadey presented in his paper at Risk Conference of SIBO, the inventor of original VIX. It's not the level, guys. It's the pattern. What matters is the pattern. We had a reversal there that day. We posted on the Hunter Killer Sub over the weekend. We commented it. We had a reversal. We hit 4 sigma. That's all she wrote. So I was laughing. I said, no wonder they call it Comedy Central. And we pulled back. We're at 16 now. So much for the talking heads. The problem is it's like a quota. They have to produce, so the jaw is moving without brain engaging.
So the VIX is pulled all the way back down to 16 here. Do you see the VIX coming back up here, or do you think?
Yes, but not part of. Yes, sir, but not part of this shockwave. We count these. The shockwave 3 is finito, because you have to build up to it, Dennis. You know, it takes a while. You know,
right.
You just gotta get. You gotta have the issues. You gotta have the bad news. You gotta get a lot of things behind you, so it pushes you to that level. You need a wind behind your back to push you to go that high up. But it's restless. It doesn't stay very high. Had we had another issue, let's say, I don't know, something else go crazy. We had Ebola there, we had Ukraine, we had Iran, oil prices. Let's say we had a 5th column there, another column of problems. Yeah, we could have gotten up there, but again, Sigma channels were telling us not more than 33 maybe, not maybe 34. This 40 business, I'm scratching my head. I'm saying, what are they having for breakfast? So
Ebola scare.
Ebola was tough. I agree. That was tough. Yeah, it's the fear. The fear.
Do you think the Ebola is behind us? Do you think this materializes here again?
Oh, it's done. It's done.
You think it's done? You think the fear?
Yeah. First of all, you can't. In the next couple of weeks, nothing, because you got election. They will absolutely make sure, all powers to be, nothing happens. Remember, I grew up in Washington. Got to understand how Washington operates. I mean, the people who were scared the most in this country were at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, inside the White House. They were scared the most. Not the people who were watching Brian Williams at night.
So how you playing it? How you playing it, Fari? Are you, for some of the stuff that you picked up on the cheap, are you just trying not to pick a target, try not to get greedy on the upside, and just moving your stops up, or just kind of general strategy?
Two things. First of all, we're in the earnings season, so anything that the earning hit, like Apple, we covered. We took out and boom, gone. Anything that looks like has a chance, we're playing those and modifying and rollout. But our big play here was futures. I mean, that's my currency. I don't look at dollars. I look at S&P handles. The one trade there, when the Fed comments came, one trade, which one had. I had a bunch of positions on, and I had added, and I just turned off my hedge because I was uncertain for a while. I put the hedge on. It drifted down. I said, okay, it looks like it's done. My charts were saying the hedge is no longer attractive or effective. We're done with the hedge. I turned the hedge off. The Fed news came. We went up 18 handles on some of my contracts in 5 minutes. I mean, there was no time, and it was so strong. You say, you know what? Let me move the stops up a little bit, or mental stops, and look for some targets. So I went to my OTF charts via AWACS, and it said, I think 58. Said 1858, and people looked at it and they said, holy mackerel, what is he talking about? Sure enough, that was the top tick of that leg. And at that point, I just went all out. No peeling off, just completely out. Because it was such a momentum, you would know that is becoming parabolic. It's going to pull back. You just get out and take a breather and say, okay, deep breath. Let's take a look at what this scenario looks like. Come back in. We had the last week was a monster week for me. It was absolutely beyond expectation or explanation. No, we had a few losses in the futures. We had some hedges on, but the pushes were both down or up were so strong if you stayed with the current, with the flow, kind of turn off the news, watch the charts, and turn off your emails, forget Twitter, just look at price, volume, advanced decline, tick. Look at some of our internal, indicators. You would see the progression at such a high clip. All you have to do is pick some forward number and be ready at that price to action. Either put your profit targets in or have it queued up. I usually queue up my orders, so they're ready to go. I just hit it. Most of the time, if it's that fast, like the 18 handle move, I was on BookTrader. BookTrader very interactive. It's a one click. You're right, left on your mouse, and boom, you're done. So.
All right, we got a question coming in.
Sheldon, Sheldon's asking you in the chat, what do you think of the biotechs here? Gilead, Celgene, Amgen. We had Biogen report here this morning. They report a pretty decent quarter, $3.80 versus $3.46. They beat on the sales too, and the guidance is pretty decent. But the stock is trading down $13 here in the pre-market on this pretty decent report. Is that a tell for these other biotechs here?
Could be. I'm not an expert. As a matter of fact, last night I wrote to Brianna, and I said, because I sent her a copy of my book, I said, get Dave Miller from my book. He wrote the chapter, as everybody talked about, on biotech in your program. Just for an interview, he's in Washington. Dave Miller. He knows biotech. That's not my area. And usually something like that, I would shoot him an email. I said, Dave, what do you think? I'm kind of, things that are not my area, I'll tell you. Don't know. I don't know. And right now we have too much noise here. Market noise, you got exogenous noise. I don't know how to. I wish I knew, but I just don't.
I tell you,
I can write to Dave and get you guys the answer later on today and post it for you. I just don't know.
Amgen made a new all-time high yesterday, actually, just a sneaky all-time high after getting down all the way to 127 there on the Ebola scare. It's rallied $15 here and will trade up to 144 here yesterday. So these biotechs have come all the way back, and some of them have come all the way back to make new highs. Yeah.
Well, Amgen is a great company, great balance sheet, great product flow in terms of what's coming from your research. When I was in LA, they were not down the street, but relatively close to me where they were. As a matter of fact, Reg FD, head of international marketing, is a very, very good friend of mine. But I don't talk to her about the stock because that's no. I like the chart. We're at 2 sigma right now. I would look for 148, 150 area. That's where we're going to hit some exhaustion. But I agree with you. The massive run, that last 4 bars are, you would see those usually on a monthly charts. Now you're seeing it on daily. It's just massive.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, Fari, do you use the tick at all to trade, the tick?
Tick is good for me for 1 minute. I use 1 minute. I also put the IB levels on it. That is, I watch what it did first hour. Okay? So I use our IB indicator, overlay it using 1 minute, and also 2 other extra lines, plus 1,000, negative 1,000. Until we get to some craziness. Like, if it's just bull, then yeah, 1,000 should be moved up, like 1,200. Not the bottom line, only one leg, the top. Or if you're in a really bad area, let's say August of 2011, I had it down to negative 1,400. So that would be a secondary alert. But main alert is the really IB, the first hour. What did tick do in the first hour? And you'll be surprised how this tick complies to that. Which again proves fixed targets means nothing. It's adaptive targets that matter. And so you'd see, because some days we were quiet, some days we were not. And it measures against itself. And I use it for finessing entry and exit. I don't use it for any trend analysis or what have you, because it's too noisy. But it's very good for finessing. That is, like a squash player, drop shots from a backcourt. That's the same thing here. I'm looking at where's the last piece I want to peel off. I look at tick. Like, it goes up, it goes up. I take a 1/3 off. Pushes another limit. Okay, I'll take a 1/3 off. And then I'm looking at a tick. It's getting to the IB high. That's the last 1/3 I get out. After that, it usually collapses.
What are your thoughts here? We got a couple big reports coming tomorrow night, Microsoft and Amazon. Are you playing these stocks ahead of these reports?
Is Pope Catholic? I mean, I got to make some shekels.
How are you?
Senor, I got to make. My problem is this. What's the encore after last week? I got to make some shekels. Actually, I'm just like, oh, give me action, because last week was something else. Yeah, of course. I mean, selectively. Again, our fear this time, I wrote that to my subscribers early in the EPS season. I said, guys, this is going to be because of where we are, because of all the exogenous news, and there were people like Ashraf who were saying we could have a massive pullback, which we did very nicely, actually beyond his target. He was looking at 1870, so it was even bigger than what he had expected. I said, look, given all what we're hearing, what we're looking at, this is like late September, right before early part of October. So, guys, we're going to be, this time we're going to be a little bit more selective. And because we've had a few misses too. We missed on Google. We missed last night on ISRG. The ISRG usually misses. This time it made it. So I had puts that are going to go worthless. Now, but there are Novembers. And, we have some Novembers and Decembers on. So I'm not playing any weeklies. Have you looked at the volume on the weeklies? Horrible, except a few names.
Hey, Fari, I want to ask you about your S&P trade from last week. You said that's where you caught it. I was just wondering, and you also talked about a hedge in there. I was just wondering where you took the long position, what you based it on. Were you stopping yourself out below that 1813 low? What did you use as a hedge, and when did you take the hedge off?
Well, we usually hedge ES and NQ with each other, depending on which one is moving faster. That will be my primary. And then the other one, I leave it alone to be available, to be for a hedge, so I can go in reverse of it. And the ratio I use is roughly 2-to-1. So for every one S&P, I'll take two NQ. One ES, I'll take two NQs. Why? It's the beta and the price multiplier difference. Okay, you got one is $20 for every point. The other one is 50. But then NQs have higher beta, which is about a 1.1 beta. So when you do the math, it's usually you want to be 2-to-1. If you're playing a larger size, let's see, it would be 9-to-2. You can use 9-to-2. I'm sorry, 9-to-5. 9-to-5. You can use 9-to-5. Every 5 ES, you take the other side of NQ. Now, where do I put the hedge on and off is when it's indeterminate. It gets to an exhaustion and sitting there. Okay? And I'm thinking further is coming, but at that time, I am in an area where, let's say we're pending a news or something. Here's my reasoning. I got too much risk, probably not enough return. So for that, I'll put a hedge on and take my, take a little bit of zen out a little bit, relax a little bit, watch the screens again, watch the longer charts a little bit more. The primary chart we use for trading is our OTF. And that's the other time frame that shows the big players.
Yep.
In the action that we've had during this, plus like 18 plus on the VIX up to we hit 30, I believe. Let's see, 33. That regime, when we get to there, 31. I'm sorry, to 31. That regime, you're gonna get the big players coming in. That's what actually is the guys who are moving the market. For that, the OTF technology is the worst, the best, and we overlay that. Remember the email I sent you guys every morning, the table?
Yes, the confluence table.
That's two things there. One is all of a different type of possible levels we may have, from IB, from weekly, from daily. It's all going in there. Plus, we get zoning that Ethan writes in. So, Ethan, he nailed this trade.
I wanted to, Fari, before we only
so we use those, overlay it. That's what I printed out. This in front of me. That's how I look for 1813. It's not me telling me others, hey, we're going to go down there. I'm looking at how it's developing, what targets he's been looking at, and how the levels are for that day.
Before I let you go, man, Ethan must be Rochambeauing around the office there. He was properly positioned for this move, so he must be.
He both on the options and the futures. He killed it.
Okay.
We had one trade we thought is done, is gone. Guess what? Jesus came and breathed into it and got life, and he closed it with a small profit, but it was gone. It came back strong.
It was caught.
Yeah, so
Okay. All right, Fari, as usual, giving us great insight into the markets. Fari Hamzei, founder of Hamzei Analytics, giving us his colorful approach to the markets. Fari, we appreciate you coming on again.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, SPOOs are moving up higher again, so we'll see if this move can continue. Thank you, Fari. Talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Yes, sir.
Corey.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.